we're going to introduce Dan first. Good morning, Dan.
Morning, all.
Now, Dan, tell us a little bit about what your challenge is coming up.
Okay, I am next weekend flying out to, on Thursday, flying out to Sweden to do a ride called the Vasarunden, which is a charity ride on behalf of Cyclists Fighting Cancer, a kids' charity. We're riding 300k. There's a team of 30 of us doing it. And we're riding, believe it or not, overnight, all of the 1 hour of dark, but still, non-stop, round 300k.
Okay, Dan, thanks for that. We're going to find out more about that later. Okay, so now we're going to talk to Dan about his challenge. Now, Dan, Cyclists Fighting Cancer, what's that all about, first of all?
Okay, it's a small charity which is based in Stratford-upon-Avon, which has been going for about 10 years now. It's been started off by a guy called Mike Grithenswaite, who was a cancer sufferer himself. And what it is basically is that Cyclists Fighting Cancer raise funds for the purchase and the building of specially adapted bikes for kids who have had cancer and are getting over it. Basically, when children and people have chemotherapy, etc., it affects everybody in different ways, and you have muscle wastage, etc., and you try and build that back up again. And it's found that cycling has helped do this by a non-impact type sport. Where you have kids who've gone through things like this, they have trouble balancing, they don't have muscles in their legs, backs, etc. So what we do is we build bikes to that specific child, so that child can actually get out and start riding. And why we've done it with bikes is because it's a family-orientated activity as well. So if there's a sibling who doesn't have a bike, we'll also buy the sibling a bike so the family can get out as a group and start
together,
cycling.
Yeah. I must admit, I went onto their Facebook page, the Cyclists Fighting Cancer, and there are some lovely pictures of the kids with their especially adapted bikes, and as you say, it's now that they've got these bikes, they now feel part and parcel of growing up. It's nothing worse than looking out the window, all the kids on the bikes and you
Absolutely.
Can't go out.
Yeah, totally and utterly. We did a sportif 2 weeks ago up in Stratford, and some of the kids came down to see us down there, and to sort of so people could talk to them and chat to them and see how they're getting on. And I'm a bit of a blubber person. I cry really quickly, really. And it happened. These kids, you listen to the stories of the families, the parents, they come for, it's amazing with the difference in the kid. It's fantastic.
Dan, I can imagine that, it just brings a lump to your throat.
Totally.
And the kids are so strong though, aren't they? They're the ones that just kind of get on with it, don't they?
Yeah, what these kids go through, it's incredible. My wife's a friend with a kid in the States. You just think, my goodness, what they've gone through, and they still come out smiling.
Yeah, it's amazing.
They're there with a big smile and a big grin.
Right, okay, we're going to play a bit of music, then we're going to come back to... okay, now we're going to get back to Dan. Now, Dan, you're off to Sweden during the week, so tell us, how on earth did you find out about this challenge in Sweden? And tell us exactly, are you raising money for the Cyclists Fighting Cancer, or is it for another charity?
Okay, this is something Cyclists Fighting Cancer have been doing for the last few years.
Yeah.
I've looked at it, doing it before, and I, as I say, I know Mike quite well, and he said to me, come and do it. And this year is a year I've decided I'm going to do things. I did the first Ashford Try I've ever done in my life the other week, which was fantastic, great fun. So I thought, okay, this is a challenge, step up, do it.
Okay, so now, you've been in before, Dan. You came in when we were speaking about the cycling club, Folks and Cycling Club, and I must ask you this. Now, you're stepping up to the challenge, but you've played this down a little bit, but you did have a heart attack, didn't you?
Yeah, back in 2010.
Now, tell us about that and your recovery, and is there any sort of motivation, really, for getting on that bike and doing this challenge?
Okay. Heart attack, 2010, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, out windsurfing at the time. Sort of not a good place to have a heart attack.
Oh, yeah, in the middle of the ocean.
Anyway, to cut a long story short, thankfully, right time at the right place. It took me 3/4 of an hour to get into hospital, went to full cardiac arrest, died 3 times, got shot, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, that's all boring story now because it's all past. What is the future? Started cycling as part of rehab with a friend, enjoyed it a lot, did the London to Brighton to give something back to British Heart Foundation, did some work with them. And just enjoyed cycling, like getting on out there, enjoyed,
that in itself
linked up with clubs, then you hear stories of other people, what they do and why they do cycling, and I just taking it on from there.
Okay, that's a great inspiration. So, guys, there you are. But now, getting back to Sweden. So, tell us a little bit about, right, you go to Sweden. I've got here that you've got to cycle 300 kilometres, which to us people, what are still in Europe, well, it's 186 miles. So, how are you going to, tell us about the logistics of that?
Okay, we are flying out on Thursday afternoon. We arrive about 9 o'clock at the site on Thursday night. We log on to get our timing chips, everything Friday night we start riding. There's a group of 30 of us, so they've given us a brilliant start time of 9:30 at night. How I'm going to stay awake for this time, I don't know. Then we're just going around the Vatteren Lake, which is 300 kilometres. Hopefully we'll stick as a group. We're going to try and average about 22 miles an hour as a group, so we should get it done in about between 10 and 11 hours.
So you start 9:30 at night,
yeah.
So you open to finish like 8 o'clock in the morning?
Something like that.
Yeah, so how in Sweden, how much daylight or darkness is there?
They reckon there's about an hour and a half of darkness.
Right.
Most of the time it's sort of a dusk. My main concern is with a big group sticking on people's, when you ride as a group, you see us on the TV, being on somebody's wheel.
Yeah.
It's dark.
Yeah.
So I'm in two minds whether to take it at my own pace and back off the group a little bit or stick with the group and go. But I'm doing it. If I get to the end, I'm happy with that.
Okay, Dan. Well, look, we're going to try and bring you back in on the show later on, but I'm looking at the time, very conscious of the time. But so tell us any contact details or anything that you want to say that that's very important about your challenge.
Yeah, well, okay, I'm running a Just Giving page, which is justgiving.com Dan-Sweden Ride, or you can go directly to Cyclists Fighting Cancer, have a look at their website, which is www.cyclistsfc.org.uk. They've also got links to various charity sites, their own Just Giving, etc. If you're kind enough to pass something over, put in a donation, thank you very much.
There we go, Dan. Great challenge, great worthwhile cause. I'll tell you what, if you get a second, just go onto the Facebook page, Cyclists Fighting Cancer, and see the pictures of the kids, and just see how important it is. Now, we were having a little joke earlier on, but I've drugged this track up for Dan there. This is his punishment. He's got 10 hours of this, of ABBA music, so we're going to have a bit of Dancing Queen for him.
The Saturday Sports Show, brought to you by the Natural Health Centre in Folkestone, one of the biggest multi-therapy centres in the area.
105.9 Academy FM.
105.9 Academy FM.
Saturday Sport. You're listening to the Sportsferret on Academy FM.
Academy FM.